Hey there. Ready for a deep dive into AI?
Always.
Well, today we're going beyond the algorithms, like really exploring the human journey behind it all.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, we're going to be diving into Fei Fei Li's memoir. It's called I Knew to You, The Worlds I See.
I've heard good things.
It's amazing. She's a pioneer in AI. But it's so much more than just the tech stuff.
It's easy to forget that side of it.
Totally. Like she led this huge project, ImageNet.
Ah, ImageNet. That was groundbreaking.
Right. It's like it taught machines to see.
A massive data set of labeled images.
Yeah.
Like a visual dictionary for AI.
Exactly. It was a turning point. But her story goes so much deeper.
I'm intrigued.
We're going way back, from her childhood in China all the way to those moments that changed AI forever.
I love those personal journeys. Where do we start?
Well, her parents were really influential. Like her dad was an engineer.
Makes sense. So that's where the science comes from.
Right. He had this crazy curiosity about everything, always exploring, observing. That definitely rubbed off on her.
That's awesome. What about her mom?
Her mom was brilliant too. But it was a different time in China, the Cultural Revolution and all, limited opportunities.
Yeah.
So there was this longing for something more, a desire to escape.
So that led them to the U.S.
Yeah, they immigrated when Li was a teenager.
Wow, what a shift.
Huge. But it was those two forces, the father's exploration, the mother's yearning. It's like they came together and fueled this drive in Li.
I see it, like pushing boundaries, always reaching further.
Exactly. And there's this moment, Li is on a layover in Shanghai.
Okay.
And she finds out Einstein had stayed in that same city. Like, it's this connection to those who dared to think differently.
I love that, like passing the torch.
Okay, now picture this. Young Fei Fei Li lands in Parsippany, New Jersey. Culture shock.
Yeah, New Jersey. Yeah, I can imagine.
Total transition. And the family struggles financially. Like, Li is working multiple jobs.
Yeah.
A Chinese restaurant, dog walking, anything to help out.
She's juggling that with high school and learning a new language, a new culture.
But somehow, she not only survives, she excels.
Resilient.
Totally. And then there's this teacher, Mr. Sabella. He taught math.
Okay.
This guy was a game changer. He saw something in, a spark, became this incredible mentor.
I love those mentor stories. That one person believing in you can make all the difference.
Absolutely. He helped her apply to Princeton, open doors that might have stayed closed.
Wow. What a turning point.
And here's where the dry cleaning connection comes in. Remember we mentioned that?
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about that.
Well, the Sabellas, his family, they did something amazing, loaned Li's family, like tens of thousands of dollars.
Seriously?
Yeah, to buy a dry cleaning business. It gave them stability, let Li focus on her studies.
That's incredible.
Right. It's wild how these things connect. High school math class, a dry cleaning business, they shaped her whole future.
You never know how life will unfold.
So true. Now, with that breathing room, she goes to Princeton, and initially she's focused on physics, right?
Physics.
Yeah, it's like that childhood fascination with the human mind, but now she's trying to unravel the universe, these big questions about existence,
I get it.
Right, it's this drive to explore, and it stays with her. But then at Caltech, things take a turn. She's doing research, studying the visual cortex of cats, using this technique called fMRI.
I've heard of that. Brain imaging, right.
Exactly. And that's when her interest in AI really takes off, specifically replicating human vision in machines.
Fascinating. So physics, neuroscience, it all came together.
Right, like those fields intersected and sparked a whole new passion. And then there's this pivotal moment. She's working with her PhD advisor, Pietro Perona.
Okay.
And he throws out this question. How would you explain color to someone who's colorblind?
Whoa, that's deep.
Right. It makes you think about the limits of language, how experience shapes our understanding.
You can't just describe it. They had to experience it.
Exactly. And that sends her down this AI path, this idea of visual perception, going beyond words and algorithms.
I see it. Like, to truly capture human vision, you need something more.
And that's when the seed for ImageNet is planted.
ImageNet, from that question about color.
Yeah, she comes across WordNet, this massive database of concepts.
Okay.
And there's this abandoned visual counterpart, ImageNet. So she has this vision, right? A massive data set of labeled images, organized in a way that mimics how humans learn visually.
Makes sense. Learn by seeing, by experience.
But the AI community, they weren't really on board. Back then, it was all about complex algorithms.
Data was secondary.
Yeah, almost an afterthought. But Li had this conviction data wasn't just an ingredient, it was the fuel.
The fuel for the AI revolution.
Exactly. And that's what we'll pick up after a short break.
So Li sets out to build this massive ImageNet. Can you imagine? Millions of images, all labeled and organized.
It's mind-blowing. Like, how did they even do that?
It was a huge undertaking. They used crowdsourcing, platforms like Amazon Mechanical Turk, thousands of people contributing.
Wow. So it really was a global effort, like building this digital library for machines?
Exactly. It shows how much human effort goes into these technological advancements.
So what happens next? Does ImageNet just sit there?
Not at all. They create this competition, the ImageNet Large-Scale Visual Recognition Challenge.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. It was like the Olympics for AI algorithms.
That's a good way to put it. Teams competing to see which algorithm could identify images the best.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right?
In 2012, a team using a deep neural network, AlexNet, wins by a landslide. Their approach, using ImageNet's data, was a breakthrough.
And that's when everything changes. Deep learning takes off.
Exactly. It validated Li's vision. Data was the key.
ImageNet became the benchmark for computer vision. It's like it paved the way for all those AI applications we see today.
Self-driving cars, facial recognition, all fueled by ImageNet's data.
But Li doesn't stop there. She wants to make a real-world impact.
Right, ImageNet was a success, but it also made her think about AI's role in society.
So where does she go from there?
She starts collaborating with a doctor at Stanford, Arnie Bay, applying computer vision to healthcare.
Healthcare. That's a big leap from teaching machines to see.
It might seem that way, but they tackled real problems, like using AI to monitor hand hygiene in hospitals.
AI watching doctors wash their hands, that's pretty specific.
It might sound mundane, but hospital-acquired infections are a serious issue. Simple things like hand washing can save lives.
So it's about using AI for good, addressing human-centered problems.
Exactly. And this collaboration really shifts Li's thinking. She starts to think about the ethics of AI.
So it's not just about what AI can do, but how it should be used.
Right. And then Li faces this huge dilemma. She gets a lucrative job offer from McKinsey, a top consulting firm.
Wow. That must have been tempting, financial security, after all those years of struggle.
But she chooses her passion, turns down McKinsey, and stays in academia.
To continue her research, it takes courage to follow your heart like that.
It shows how committed she is to her vision. And her family supported her decision, even her mom, who had always pushed her to succeed.
It's beautiful how it comes full circle. So what kind of research did she do next?
She dives into fine-grained classification, taking computer vision to a whole new level.
Fine-grained, what does that mean?
ImageNet was about recognizing broad categories, like cat or dog. Fine-grained is about the subtle differences within those categories.
Like being able to tell a golden retriever from a Labrador.
Exactly. Or different models of cars, even species of birds. It's like teaching a machine to see the world through an expert's eyes.
Wow. So it's not just recognizing objects anymore, it's understanding the nuances, the details.
And Li's team wasn't just interested in the technical challenge. They saw it as a way to explore human perception. How do we understand the world?
But there's a missing piece, right? Context.
You got it. Machines were good at identifying objects, but they didn't understand how those objects related to each other.
Like seeing a chair but not understanding it's part of a dining room set?
Right. They lacked that contextual awareness. And this is where Li's personal life comes into play again.
Her mom's health.
Yeah. Taking care of her aging mother made Li realize how effortlessly humans understand the gist of a situation.
Like knowing what someone needs before they even ask? Machines couldn't do that.
Exactly. And that's what led her to ambient intelligence, AI that blends into the background, anticipating needs.
Okay, that sounds futuristic. Like AI that just knows what you want.
In a way, it understands the context and acts accordingly.
So no more giving machines specific instructions, they just figure it out.
That's the idea. Li's team started developing systems that could understand human activities, behaviors.
Like predicting falls in elderly care facilities.
Exactly. But this brought up new challenges. Data privacy, responsible use.
It's sensitive information, right? You can't just collect it without thinking about the consequences.
Li knew that traditional AI research in controlled lab settings wasn't enough. To understand human behavior, you need to study the real world.
It's messy, unpredictable.
But that's where the real insights are. So Link starts collaborating with psychologists, sociologists, even ethicists.
Wow, bringing in all these different perspectives.
Because AI can't be developed in a vacuum. It has to consider human needs, values, behaviors.
It's like she's building a bridge between technology and humanity.
And that bridge is crucial as AI gets more powerful. Link sees industry giants like Google and Facebook with their vast resources. She sees the potential, but also the risks.
So it's about shaping the future of AI, making sure it benefits everyone.
Exactly. Ling realizes she needs to be more than just a researcher. She becomes an advocate for human-centered AI.
Like a voice of conscience for the field.
That's a good way to put it. She co-founds AI4AL to promote diversity and inclusion in AI education.
That's amazing. We need more people from different backgrounds shaping this technology.
And Ling's message is heard. She even testifies before Congress in 2018.
Testifying before Congress, that's a big deal.
It shows how influential she's become. She talks about the need for responsible AI development, collaboration between academia, industry, and government.
It's a vision for a future where AI solves humanity's biggest challenges.
And that vision takes shape with the Human-Centered AI Institute at Stanford, an interdisciplinary research hub focused on human well-being.
So it's not just about building better AI, it's about building a better world with AI.
Exactly. And Li's story is just beginning.
It's amazing, isn't it, how Li's life experiences, the challenges, they all fed into her work with AI.
Yeah, that personal touch, it really comes through.
Like her family's financial struggles, her mom's health, it's almost like those things pushed her to explore new areas in AI.
It definitely breaks that stereotype.
Yeah.
The scientist in the ivory tower.
Totally. And remember Mr. Sabella, he wasn't just a teacher, he was a lifeline.
Such a powerful example of mentorship.
Yeah.
Recognizing potential, going the extra mile.
And Li's carries that forward, right? With AI4AL, making sure everyone has a seat at the table.
Democratizing AI, such a crucial idea.
Because it's not just about algorithms, it's about people, their needs, their values. That's what human-centered AI is all about.
Using technology to empower people, not replace them.
And Li's journey, it's a reminder that we all have a part to play in shaping this future.
Absolutely. From a small town in China to testifying before Congress.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, right?
It gives me hope, like we can steer AI in the right direction.
It's a call to action for all of us, to think about what human-centered AI means to us, how we want it to shape our lives. That's something worth pondering. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, folks. Until next time.